there, wonderful learners. It's so great to have you back on the Confidence Speaking podcast. I am Emily, and I'm genuinely excited about today's topic because it's something we all need in real life. Today, we are diving into the art of ordering food at restaurants in English. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. It truly makes our day and helps us create more content just for you. I remember my first time ordering in English at a restaurant abroad. My palms were sweaty and I was so nervous. But here's the thing. Ordering food is actually one of the most practical skills you can master. Whether you find yourself in a cozy cafe, a family restaurant, or an upscale dining establishment, these expressions will be your best friends. As we go through today's lesson, I want you to repeat everything after us. This shadowing technique is absolutely magical for improving both your pronunciation and your confidence. Let's kick things off with that classic question you'll hear everywhere. Are you ready to order? Now, you have a couple of great options here. You can confidently say, yes, I'm ready to order. Or if you need a moment, try, could I please see the menu? I love how polite that sounds. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Could I please see the menu? Perfect. Now try, yes, I'm ready to order. Once you have that menu in your hands, you might want some guidance from your server. Here's where these golden phrases come in handy. What would you recommend? Or, what's today's special? These questions are fantastic because they show you're interested and engaged. Plus, servers usually love sharing their favorites. Say it with me. What would you recommend? Great. Now, what's today's special? Don't worry if it doesn't sound perfect yet. That's completely normal. I always tell my students that making mistakes is just part of the learning journey. The important thing is that you're trying, and that's what matters most. Now comes the exciting part, actually placing your order. This is where the magic happens. You can say something like, I'd like the grilled salmon, please. Or, could I have the pasta carbonara? Notice how we're using please here. It's such a small word, but it makes your English sound so much more natural and friendly. I can't stress enough how important politeness is in English-speaking cultures. For beverages, you might say, I'll have a glass of red wine. Or, could I get some sparkling water? And here's a pro tip I wish someone had told me earlier. Don't hesitate to ask questions about the food. Try, is this dish quite spicy? Or, does this contain any nuts? These questions are incredibly helpful, especially if you have dietary restrictions or preferences. Let's practice these essential phrases together. Repeat after me. I'd like the grilled salmon, please. Excellent. Now, could I have the pasta carbonara? Perfect. I'll have a glass of red wine. Is this dish quite spicy? Does this contain any nuts? You're doing wonderfully. I can already hear the improvement in your pronunciation. Take a moment now to say one of these sentences out loud. Don't be shy. Speaking practice is what transforms good students into confident speakers. Here's something that catches many learners off guard. After you've placed your order, your server might ask additional questions. They could say, would you care for any appetizers? Or, are you interested in dessert tonight? Let me explain these terms because they're super important. An appetizer, sometimes called a starter, is a small dish served before your main course. Think of things like soup, a small salad, or some bread with olive oil. It's meant to awaken your appetite while you wait for your main dish. Dessert, on the other hand, is that sweet treat you enjoy at the end of your meal, perhaps some tiramisu, chocolate cake, or fresh fruit. If your server asks about appetizers, you can respond with, no thank you, I'm fine. Or, yes, I'd love to try the soup, please. For dessert, you might say, I'll skip dessert tonight, thank you. Or, the chocolate cake sounds amazing, I'll have that. Sometimes you need more time to decide, and that's perfectly okay. Simply say, could I have a few more minutes to decide? This gives you breathing room and shows good communication skills. I remember feeling rushed when I was learning, but taking your time is absolutely acceptable. Budget considerations are important too. Don't feel embarrassed to ask, "How much is the steak?" or "What's the price of the seafood platter?" Being aware of costs is just good sense, and no one will judge you for asking. Let's practice these together. Would you care for any appetizers? Are you interested in dessert tonight? Could I have a few more minutes to decide? How much is the steak? What's the price of the seafood platter? Now, imagine you're sitting in a lovely restaurant right now. Try using one of these phrases. Speak it out loud with confidence. Remember, every native speaker makes mistakes too, so don't worry about perfection. Focus on clear communication and being understood. When your delicious food finally arrives, there is a whole new set of interactions to navigate. Your server will likely say something like, "Here's your order," or "Enjoy your meal." A simple "Thank you so much," or "This looks absolutely delicious," works perfectly as a response. You can also express your appreciation with phrases like, "It smells wonderful," or "I can't wait to try this." These comments create a positive atmosphere and show your enthusiasm. Once you start eating, feel free to give feedback. "This is really delicious," or "I'm really enjoying this," are great ways to show appreciation. But what if something isn't quite right? Don't worry, it happens to everyone. You can politely say, "Excuse me, I think this soup might be cold," or "I'm sorry, but this is a bit too spicy for me." The key is being polite but clear about the issue. During your meal, you might need additional items. Try, "Could I get some more water, please?" or "May I have an extra napkin?" These requests are completely normal, and servers expect them. Let's practice these dining phrases. "Thank you so much. This looks wonderful." "It smells amazing." "This is really delicious." "Excuse me, I think this soup might be cold. Could I get some more water, please? May I have an extra napkin?" Speaking clearly and maintaining a friendly demeanor really helps staff understand you better. I found that a genuine smile transcends language barriers and creates positive interactions everywhere. You know what's interesting? I've noticed that when you speak with confidence, even if you make small mistakes, people respond much more positively. It's like they can sense your effort and enthusiasm, and that makes all the difference. Another thing I love about restaurant interactions is how they give you immediate feedback. You can see right away if you're being understood, and the server's response helps you gauge how well you're communicating. It's like having a mini English lesson every time you dine out. Don't be afraid to ask for clarification if you don't understand something. Saying, "Could you please repeat that?" or "I'm sorry, I didn't catch that," shows you're actively engaged in the conversation. All good meals must come to an end, and that brings us to settling the bill. When you're ready to pay, you can say, "Could I have the bill, please?" or "May I get the check, please?" Here's an interesting cultural note. In British English, people typically say "bill," while Americans often say "check." Both are perfectly acceptable wherever you go. When your server brings the bill, take a moment to review it. If you notice an error, politely point it out. "Excuse me, I don't think I ordered this item," or "I believe there might be a mistake with the drinks." If everything looks correct, you can say, "Everything appears to be in order," and proceed with payment. For payment options, you might ask, "Do you accept credit cards?" or "Can I pay with my card?" If you're paying cash, you could ask, "Do you have change for this amount?" These practical questions help ensure smooth transactions. In many countries, leaving a tip is customary. You can say, "I'd like to leave a gratuity," or simply leave the appropriate amount on the table. Typically, tips range from 10 to 20% of the total bill, depending on the service quality and local customs. It's a wonderful way to show appreciation for good service. Let's review these payment phrases. "Could I have the bill, please?" "Do you accept credit cards?" "Can I pay with my card?" "Excuse me, I don't think I ordered this item. I'd like to leave a gratuity." You're making incredible progress. Managing the entire restaurant experience from start to finish is a significant achievement that builds real confidence in your English abilities. I remember when I first started teaching English, I was amazed at how quickly students improved once they started using these restaurant phrases in real situations. There's something magical about practical application that textbook exercises just can't replicate. What I find particularly exciting is how these restaurant skills transfer to other areas of English conversation. The politeness patterns, the question structures, the way you handle unexpected situations, all of these elements appear in countless other contexts. So you're not just learning to order food, you're building fundamental communication skills that will serve you everywhere. Now, let's address some special situations you might encounter. Many people have food allergies or follow specific diets, and it's crucial to communicate these needs clearly. If you have a peanut allergy, you should say, I have a severe peanut allergy, or I cannot eat anything with peanuts. For vegetarians, try, I follow a vegetarian diet, or I don't consume meat. You might also need to ask specific questions about ingredients, like, does this dish contain dairy? Or is this gluten-free? These inquiries help ensure your safety and dining enjoyment. Restaurant staff are usually very helpful with these requests because they want all guests to have a positive experience. Sometimes you might want to take leftover food home. In this case, you can say, could I get a takeaway container? Or, may I have this to go? The terminology varies by region. Takeaway is more common in British English, while to go is typical in American English. If you're planning ahead, you might want to make a reservation. Simply call and say, I'd like to make a reservation for tonight. Or, could I book a table for 4 people? Let's practice these special situation phrases. I have a severe peanut allergy. I follow a vegetarian diet. Does this dish contain dairy? Could I get a takeaway container? I'd like to make a reservation for tonight. These expressions demonstrate that you're a thoughtful, well-prepared communicator who can handle various dining scenarios with confidence. I've always believed that food allergies and dietary restrictions are serious matters that deserve clear communication, and knowing how to express these needs in English can literally be life-saving in some situations. Here is something I've observed from years of teaching. Students who master restaurant English often report feeling more comfortable in all social situations. Why? Because restaurants are social spaces where all kinds of conversations happen. You might chat with your server about the weather, ask other diners for recommendations, or even strike up conversations with people at nearby tables. These interactions are pure gold for language learning. One more tip I'd like to share: don't be afraid to show genuine appreciation when you receive good service. Phrases like, the service here is excellent, or you've been so helpful, thank you, create positive connections and often lead to more natural conversations. People in the service industry work hard, and acknowledging their efforts in English shows both your language skills and your character. We've covered so much ground today, and I'm really impressed with your dedication. You've learned how to order food, ask important questions, maintain politeness throughout your meal, and handle special requests. These skills will serve you well in countless real-world situations. Let's do a final review of our most essential phrases. Ready? Repeat after me one more time. Could I please see the menu? I'd like the grilled salmon, please. Is this dish quite spicy? Could I get some more water, please? May I have the bill, please? I have a severe peanut allergy. Could I get a takeaway container? Fantastic work. Your pronunciation has improved so much just during this session. Now, here's a fun challenge for you. I want you to describe a restaurant experience in English. You could start with, last weekend I dined at a lovely restaurant. I ordered, and continue from there. Try to create 4 or 5 sentences, speaking slowly and clearly. Don't aim for perfection, aim for communication. If you haven't been to a restaurant recently, that's perfectly fine. Use your imagination and describe your ideal dining experience. What would you order? How would the food taste? What would the atmosphere be like? Let your creativity flow in English. Sometimes imaginary scenarios are even more fun because you can be as creative as you want. Here's another challenge idea. Try role-playing both parts of a restaurant conversation. Be the customer first, then switch to being the server. This exercise helps you understand both perspectives and makes you more comfortable with the natural flow of restaurant interactions. It might feel silly at first, but it's incredibly effective for building confidence. If you feel comfortable sharing, we'd love to read about your restaurant experiences in the comments section. Seeing your progress genuinely makes our day, and we're always here to encourage your English journey. Every comment we receive shows us that our lessons are making a real difference in people's lives, and that's what keeps us motivated to create more content. I also want to encourage you to be patient with yourself. Language learning isn't a straight line. Some days you'll feel like you're flying, and other days might feel more challenging. That's completely normal. The important thing is to keep showing up, keep practicing, and keep believing in your ability to improve. I've seen thousands of students go from nervous beginners to confident speakers, and I know you can do it too. If today's lesson has been helpful, please consider subscribing to the Confident Speaking podcast channel. Your support means everything to us and helps us continue creating content that makes learning English enjoyable and practical. We're genuinely passionate about helping you speak English with confidence and naturalness. When you subscribe, you're not just supporting us, you're investing in your own English learning journey. Keep listening to English content, keep practicing these phrases, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. You're making remarkable progress, and we couldn't be more proud of your dedication. Remember, every expert was once a beginner, and every fluent speaker started exactly where you are now. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent, it's persistence and practice. One final thought I'd like to leave you with: the next time you're in a restaurant, whether it's in your home country or abroad, remember that you now have the tools to communicate effectively in English. You've learned not just the words, but the confidence to use them. That's a powerful combination that will serve you well in countless situations beyond just ordering food. Thank you for spending this time with us today. We'll see you in our next episode where we'll explore even more practical English skills together. Until then, keep practicing, keep smiling, and keep believing in your amazing potential. Take care. Bye.